The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Gummy, back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her, I just act bored. Say loser, ask for it. Living movie, blockbuster, this ain't a rental. Talking moody, all these diamonds up in my dental. I get never minded if I offend you. I need the silence, chaos is in my mental. You need a PJ, first class, not what you went to. You need the relay, chase money like you sane. I'll give you the boat, chain, and plane. Fame name, that's insane. Private. You need a, in case the movies get insane. You need a ruby, the kind of jewelry that's from the rain. I'm just here to remind you, but never mind me, man. I'm here to remind you.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Cincinnati Bengals. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now they try the right side here. Space to maneuver at the 40. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. 31 yards there and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Nobody leaked. Big play. He's going to air one out into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Sony Michel, his first carry. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Out of the gun now on third down. He may try and run for this. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They'll drop to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Mario Edwards forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be recovered at least by the offense, but he'll be taken down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. Well, we thought these two defenses, they might come to play. One has already come to play here, a safety for the opening points of the game.
Brandon, let's file this play away because if it turns out to be a tight game, who knows? This could wind up being the difference.
Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders. That
guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now back to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jordan Willis in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Watch it now, Barney. Barney. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Looking to throw. Got him in. It's Brashad Perriman. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a big no-no last time. A safety to make this score 2-0 where we stand now. So, see if they can atone for that mistake.
You give up points, but on the flip side, the positive side, after you punted the ball away or kicked it away,
defense held.
Defense held for you. So there's a little bit of relief there. Now they know they can get back out on the field, run their offense, and try not to put their defense in a bad spot again.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Detroit!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
They run it with McKinnon. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90! Gone! 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 Gone!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there and gets the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
He'll drop to throw. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And did the Jaguars come up with it? They did. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
No, check. Patriot! Patriot! Here we go now. Blue 90!
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The last 2 plays, each lose a yard. They'll try to move forward here on 3rd and 12.
Gone!
set up to throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is caught at the 20. A big play there for the Bengals. 65 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Gone!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive, not much sense. He'll look to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. Now the Bengals will settle for 3 as the field goal unit comes on here. And his kick here is good. And they will jump out in front here with a very unusual scoreline of 3-2. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
1:59 to go in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it go again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Leopard! Gone! All right, here we go.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big play there for Cincinnati. 59 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Mario Edwards in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. They'll set up the throw, and he slings one that's incomplete. He was looking for Jamison Crowder there, and it's third down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way, so he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it, just move on to the next play.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you've got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last two drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Back to throw now in his own end zone. Lets this one rip toward Graham. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. They'll look to throw. He's going to look deep for Perriman. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 42. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So forget about being backed up. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way across midfield. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he gets it down to the 32. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. Now the Jags are moving quickly in the hurry-up. Now they'll run it on the toss. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. On the right hash, officially this will be a 51-yard attempt. And this one is no good. He missed it. So all right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. He's going to loft one deep left side here. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. Detroit.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And that one results in 35 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10.
Gone. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Here's McKinnon. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. And they want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission. And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now McKinnon. And an alley to run. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. Following the penalty, Michelle, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They're going to look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Bengals bring out their punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate, as they've got it first and 10 now out past the 20. Right back to him on first down. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. That's into the hands of Westbrook over the middle. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Fournette, a first down carry. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. So that one will be accepted. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. But the converse is, though, you've got to win those one-on-one blocks. And when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
He'll look to throw. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big 30-yard play on 3rd. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in, but when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing, but with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
Yeah, allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. Back now here on EA Sports. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. The pitch to Fournette. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, It's a 50-50 proposition at best.
Back to throw here. He's going to float this one deep right side. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So second down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Detroit, Detroit.
Back to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 46. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game in the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 6.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
On 3rd down, Fournette. Always got some breathing room. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Now they try the right side here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This for a 4th quarter lead. And his kick is right there. It's good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do something. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it.
That's caught inside the 20. And he'll get this way down into Jacksonville territory. A big play there for the Bengals. And even 60 yards. time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. Well, we had a number of good games in the afternoon sessions, but this Sunday nighter might top them all. So we come up here on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They run once more with McKinnon. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll look to throw. He can run for it, and he will. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This for the lead in the final stages. And this one is right through. And with a little over a minute to play, they have taken the lead. Big kick right there to give them the lead in the 4th, but there is still time left for a final drive.
Did they score too soon? Post-game will tell us, right? Depending on what happens on this drive, that's how we'll analyze it. If the other team scores, they scored too soon. If they somehow hold on, they've managed the clock exactly right.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time,
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the 2nd quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. A big 3rd down play there for the Jags. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's a give to Fournette. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot, counting down to 30 seconds remaining.
I know they got a little yardage there, but I'm not sure their investment is right. They're still running the football, and I'm not sure there's enough time to continue to do that.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. And a timeout coming in. This will be their final one with 10 seconds remaining. The Jaguars on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. So the Jags will keep the offense out there as they'll decide to go for 2. Here's a toss coming right, and he is not going to make it. So they won't be able to move this lead up to a touchdown as it'll remain a 5-point ball game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. They have time here, partner, for just one final heave.
And I have to look at it from the defense's perspective here. We know what they're going to do on offense. The Hail Mary, try and get guys down there and throw it in the end zone, tip it around and catch it. You've got to have guys back there to defend that, but also you can't allow the quarterback as much time as he wants to set up and throw it. Maybe you bring a little extra pressure to make sure he gets rid of it.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.